So it's only Tuesday, and I can already tell it's going to be a long week until Eagles football with this nasty 0-2 taste in our mouth. However, the fan base is fully divided. You got the guys who want Carson out yesterday, and you got the guys who are worried and are going to hold him accountable, but realize with Carson, we got to go. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. If you are new to the channel and love talking Philly sports every single day, the good, the bad, and so far, the ugly, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn on post notifications so you know when I go live or drop some content. On that note, if you realize that this is one of the worst stretches of Carson Wentz's football, these first two games, but realize it's too early to talk about benching, smash that like button. With all that being said, today we're going to break down some film, and there's a lot of ugly on both sides of the ball. So today we're going to break down some film, and I'm going to stay on the two topics I talked about yesterday: the poor defensive play and the bad play from Carson Wentz. It's as simple as that. But before we get into the film breakdown, this defense is bad. I mean, like I said yesterday, 64 points in a two-game span, which is the most since 1971. And to elaborate on Carson Wentz, my most concerning thing is his decision-making in year 5. He could miss a couple here and there. I mean, all quarterbacks do. He does get high, but that's what he always did. He was never the most accurate quarterback, but he makes big plays, and that's not happening in 2020. However, his decision-making is at an all-time low. This guy does not throw interceptions. He is the only quarterback in the NFL to have 20-plus touchdowns and 7 or fewer interceptions in the NFL 3 years straight. The only quarterbacks that ever do it was Wilson, Breeze, Brady, and Rodgers, but they didn't do it 3 years straight. They did it twice. So he's up there with taking care of the ball. And this year, he's not doing it. So it's a different guy, and I just got to know why. What is going on with Carson? Because he does not look good. And if he continues, well, then we'll cross that bridge. But at this point, week 2, I cannot talk about benching him yet. It's just too big of a move to make this quick. So let's get into the film breakdown on the defense first, and then we'll move over to Carson Wentz. Roll the tape. So on this first play, the Eagles are playing zone. As Jared Goff audibles, our defense audibles, which keeps the right side of the defense playing zone, but Avonte Maddox and Nikel Roby-Coleman are playing man on their guys. Now Nathan Gary's going to drop back in the zone as well. Avonte Maddox gets beat because he over pursues to the left, and Nathan Gary should stay his ground, but he over pursues to the left too, allowing the slant to go right where he would be behind him. Watch the play. So Avonte Maddox gets beat to the left, Nathan Gary does, and then you got Cooper Kupp running a big slant for a big gain. Again, Nathan Gary is right there, supposed to drop back in that zone coverage, and he doesn't. He pursues, gets beat, and Cooper Kupp gets a nice gain. And this was right after the fumble from Sanders. Here you got Avonte Maddox matched up against Cooper Kupp and Nikel Roby-Coleman matched up against Van Jefferson. However, once Kupp goes into motion, Roby-Coleman, being the inside guy, got to slide over. So that's going to leave Avonte Maddox man-to-man against Van Jefferson, who runs a deep out route. And Avonte Maddox is just too slow off the ball. He doesn't go for him and allows him to get a huge step for a big gain. I mean, you got to be better than this. You got to be able to be aware and stay on his hip. He doesn't, and it's a big game inside the red zone. This play is just a staple of their offense. I mean, look how their play action fools everybody going to the left. He rolls out to the right for an easy completion. Now, this wasn't big in the game, but they did this to us time and time again. There was no discipline. The eye candy was too much for us, and we could not stop the rollouts. On to the fourth quarter. This was huge. Only down 5, 12 minutes left of the fourth. We need a stop from our defense, and normally we're good against the run, but here we struggled. In a big package, they got it. Jared Goff is going to motion one of the receivers on the outside, which makes Nikel Roby-Coleman go across the screen. And right there, we were kind of hurt. Nakobe Coleman all the way to the left side of the defense, worrying about that guy in motion. So guess what? There's a big opening in the middle, and the guy doesn't make the tackle. That's Jalen Mills. We'll talk about that in a little bit, and it's a big, big gain. But there's more to this play than just that motion. After he breaks through the hole, look at this. Jalen Mills is a new safety. He has to know this. He got two guys for leverage on his left and his right. He can't go to the running back. He has to stay and let the running back come to him. He goes in on a bad angle, takes a bad tackle, and lets another 30, 40 yards after that. That was huge. And lastly, on this same play, this is normally Fletcher Cox, but he had to take a breather. So we get Hassan Ridgeway gets beat by 79. He gets pinned up, opens a huge wall. If this is Fletcher Cox, he either gets a one-arm tackle or he does not allow this guy to penetrate like that. He doesn't even allow Jalen Mills to miss a tackle, and this really hurt our defense because they score after this. Then this play ices the game. It comes a little bit after that run. We're so scared of the run. The play action gets Nathan Gary looking in the backfield, and he delays and gets beat by Tyler Higbee on a touchdown. Now, this ain't the first time he got caught looking in the backfield, but that's why he couldn't keep up with him at all, was caught looking in the backfield. Watch again. He's going to look in the backfield, wait a little bit, and say, oh, there goes my man, because he was so worried about that play action. It killed us all game long. Now to the offense and Carson Wentz. He's going to drop back and try to hit Dallas Goedert. I don't dislike this decision. What I don't like is the ball placement. It's too high for Dallas Goedert, and it could have got him killed, to be honest. Look at the replay. So Carson looking at Dallas Goedert. He was open. He just got to put that in his chest. You got to put it on him, Carson. Too high. Now, I can't be fully mad at this, but Dallas Goedert looks like he's matched up against Jalen Ramsey as he motions in, which they're going to keep him in to block because the offensive line was bad against Washington. Then he decides to man up against Deshaun Jackson. You see Jalen Ramsey pressing Deshaun Jackson, and it's not in his first read, so he doesn't see it, but Deshaun Jackson beats him. That could have been a lob for a touchdown, but he goes to Miles Sanders on 3rd and 6, which I ain't mad. It's not in his progression. This is later in the game, and he goes to Zach Ertz and all this traffic. I mean, he wasn't open. It was a bad pass. It could have been a death sentence for Zach Ertz, and it also could have been picked. This is just a horrible decision. He can't do this. Come on, Carson. You got to be better than that. This play was big because it was 3rd and 5, and he was open, and he sails it over his head. If he hits him here, we continue to drive, and who knows what happens? A field goal, a touchdown. We don't know, but you got to make this throw. It's routine throw. Carson Wentz, you got to be better. And here's the interception that took all the steam away. This is when you throw the ball right there. So Carson Wentz is late throwing the ball. It was a bad decision because of safety coming over. It was the corner that actually had a dive and interception. So it wasn't the safety, but it still was double coverage. And it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. I will say this. Carson should have never threw this ball on 1st down. However, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside always tails off his routes. If that's Alshon, he comes back for it. And maybe it's not intercepted at least. Well, there you go. The defense can't overcome bad quarterback play, and the quarterback can't overcome bad defensive play. Put these two together, and you got 0-2. Simple and plain. So we need a defense to step up, and that includes Jim Schwartz. I mean, he came out today in his press conference and said, it's on me. I had the wrong game plan. What? You had the wrong game plan, and you planned it for the whole week? How? Where? Why? That can't happen. And Carson Wentz, we can't hear about you need to be better anymore. Just come out, relax, let the game come to you, stop pressing, and play football. Like I said, I'm holding him accountable, or I wouldn't be talking like this yesterday. I wouldn't be putting these plays on the screen for you guys. I would try to sugarcoat it and say there wasn't that many bad plays. There was. He got to be better. But this week 3 against the Bengals is not time to make a game-changing, a franchise-changing decision. You can't just make that in seconds like that. We got to figure things out. If our season goes down the drain with Carson Wentz, well, then we had to take the season to figure everything out. But we're not just a quarterback away from turning everything around. So it's going to be a little bit, but it's either going to come together under Carson Wentz or it's going to blow up and Carson Wentz is going to be gone. But I'm not ready to make that decision right now. So let's go with Carson Wentz. Right now, you still got to support this shield. And the starting quarterback is Carson Wentz. So Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to talk about this Bengals matchup. I'm going to break down Joe Burrow's game. It's not going to be an easy game, but we got to figure out a way to win because 0-3 is a death sentence. But listen, if we can slip by the Bengals, well, then we're talking about a possible 2-way, 3-way tie for the NFC East, and all hope is not lost. That's all I'm saying. bleed green, don't give up, and support this team, even through the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments about Doug, Jim, Carson, the defense, the game film breakdown, anything you got, and we will be talking Eagles and Bengals really soon. Until next time, you know what time it is. We out.